The Mahabharata, Section 1, Part 3. Yudhishthira is a vast tree formed of religion and virtue. Arjun is its trunk, Bhimsena its branches. The two sons of Madri are its full-grown fruit and flowers, and its roots are Krishna, Brahma, and the Brahmanas. Pandu, after having subdued many countries by his wisdom and prowess, took up his abode with the Munis in a certain forest as a sportsman, where he brought upon himself a very severe misfortune for having killed a stage coupling with its mate, which served as a warning for the conduct of the princes of his house as long as they lived. Their mothers, in order that the ordinances of the law might be fulfilled, admitted as substitutes to their embraces the gods Dharma, Vayu, Shakra, and the divinities the twin Ashwins. And when their offspring grown up under the care of their two mothers, in the society of ascetics, in the midst of sacred groves and holy recluse abodes of religion man, they were conducted by rishis into prisons of Dhritrastra and his sons, following as student in the habit of brahmacharis, having their hair tied in knot on their heads. These pupils said they are as your sons, your brothers, and your friends. They were Pandavas. Saying these, the Munis disappeared. When the Kauravas saw them introduced as the son of Pandu, the distinguished class of citizens shouted exceedingly for joy. Some, however, said they were not the sons of Pandu. Others said they were, while a few asked how they could be his offspring, saying he had been so long dead. Still on all sides voices were heard crying, "They are on all accounts welcome." Through divine providence we behold the family of Pandu. Let their welcome be proclaimed, as these accomplishments seized the plaudits of invisible spirit, causing every point of the heavens to resound, were tremendous. They were shower of sweet scented flowers, and the sound of cells and kettle drum. Such were the wonders that happened on arrival of young prince. The joyful noise of all the citizens in expression of their satisfaction on the occasions was so great that it was reached that very heaven in magnifying plaudits. Having studied the whole of the Vedas and sundry other Shastras, the Pandavas resided there, respected by all and without apprehension from anyone. The principal men were pleased with purity of Yudhishthira, the courage of Arjuna, the submissive attention of Kunti to her superiors, and the humility of the twins, Nakula and Sahadeva. And all the people rejoiced in their heroic virtues. After a while, Arjun obtained the virgin Krishna at the Swayamvar, in the midst of concourse of Rajas, by performing a very difficult feat of archery. And from this time he became very much respected in this world among all bowmen. And in field of battle also, like the sun, he was hard to behold by four men. And having vanquished all the neighboring princes and every considerable tribe. He accomplished all that was necessary for the Raja to perform the great sacrifice called Rajasuya. Yudhishthira, after having through the wise counsels of Vasudeva and by the valor of Bhimsena and Arjun, slain Jarasandha, the king of Magad and the proud Chaida, acquired the right to perform the grand sacrifice of Rajasuya, abounding in provision and offering and fraught with transcendent merits. And Duryodhana came to this sacrifice, and when he beheld vast wealth of the Pandavas scattered all around, the offerings, the precious stones, gold and jewels, the wealth in cows, elephants and horses, the curious textures, garments and mantles, the precious shawls and furs and carpets made of the skin of the ranku. He was filled with envy and became exceedingly displeased. And when he beheld the hall of assembly elegantly constructed by Maya, after the fashion of celestial court, he was inflamed with rage, and having started in confusion at certain architectural deceptions within these buildings, he was derided by Bhimsena in presence of Vasudeva, like one of mean descents, and it was represented to Dhritrastra, that his son, while parking of various objects of enjoyment and derives precious things, was becoming merged, one and pale, and Dhritarashtra sometime after, out of affection for his son, gave his consent to their playing at dice. And Vasudeva, coming to know of this, became exceedingly wroth, and being dissatisfied, he did not to prevent the disputes, but overlooked the gaming and sundry others horrid unjustifiable transactions arising therefrom. And in spite of Vidura, Bhishma, Drona and Kripa, the son of Saradvan, he made the Kshatriyas kill each other in terrific war that ensued. And Dhritarashtra, hearing the ill news of success of Pandava and recollecting the resolution of Duryodhana, Karna and Sakuni, pondered for a while and addressed to Sanjaya the following speech. Attend, O Sanjaya, to all I am about to say, and it will not become thee to treat me with contempt. Thou art well versed in the Shastras, intelligent and endowed with wisdom. My inclination was never to war, nor did I delighted in the destruction of my race. I made no distinctions between my own children and the children of Pandu. My own sons were prone to willfulness and despised me because I am old, blind as I am, because of my miserable pledge, and through paternal affection I bore it all. I was foolish after the throatless Duryodhana, ever grooming in folly. Having been a spectator of the riches of mighty sons of Pandu, my son was derided for his awkwardness while ascending the hall, unable to bear it all, the unable himself to overcome the sons of Pandu in the field, and through a soldier unwillingly yet to obtain good fortune by his own exertion. With the help of King of Gandhar, he concocted an unfair game at dice. Hear, O Sanjaya, all that happened thereupon and come to my knowledge. And when thou hast heard all I say, recollecting everything as it fell out, thou shalt then know me for one with prophetic eye. When I heard that Arjuna, having bent the bow, had pierced the curious mark and brought it down to the ground, and bore away in triumph the maiden Krishna, in the sight of the assembled princes, then, O Sanjaya, I had no hope of success. When I heard that Subhadra of the race of Madhu had, after forcible Caesar, been married by Arjuna in the city of Dwarka, and that two heroes of the race of Vrishni, without resenting it, had entered Indraprastha as friend, then, O Sanjaya, I had no hope of success. When I heard that Arjuna, by his celestial arrow, preventing the downpour by Indra, the king of the gods, had gratified Agni by making over to him the forest of Khandva, then, O Sanjaya, I had no hope of success. When I heard that the 5 Pandavas with their mother Kunti had escaped from the house of Lakh, and that Vidura was engaged in the accomplishment of their design, then, O Sanjaya, I had no hope of success. When I heard that Arjuna, after having pierced the mark in arena, had won Draupadi, and that the brave Panchals had joined the Pandavas, then, O Sanjaya, I had no hope of success. When I heard that the Jarasandh, the foremost of royal line of Magad, and blazing in the midst of the Kshatriyas, had been slain by Bhima with his bare arm alone, then, O Sanjaya, I had no hope of success. When I heard that in their general campaign the sons of Pandu had conquered the chief of the land and performed the grand sacrifice of Rajasuya, then, O Sanjaya, I had no hope of success. When I heard that Draupadi, her voice choked with tears and heart full of agony, in the season of impurity, and with but one remained on, had been dragged into court, and through she had protectors, she had been treated as if she had none, then, O Sanjaya, I had no hope of success. When I heard that the wicked wretched Dusashan was striving to strip her of that single garment, had only drawn from her person a large heap of cloth, without being able to arrive at its end, then, O Sanjaya, I had no hope of success. When I heard that Yudhishthira, beaten by Shobala at game of dice and deprived of his kingdom as consequences thereof, had still been attended upon by his brothers of incomparable prowess, then, O Sanjaya, I had no hope of success. When I heard that the virtuous Pandavas, weeping with affliction, had followed their elder brother to the wilderness and exerted themselves variously for the mitigation of his discomfort, then, O Sanjaya, I had no hope of success.